everyone, Justin here. Us secret poets are always diving into a challenge, or shall I say, dunking. The club challenged me to attend a basketball game and write a poem inspired by it. They specifically wanted me to capture the excitement and thrill of the game using some of the new tools we've been exploring in our meetings. Allow me to tell you all about it. As I watched the basketball game, I remembered what a secret poet once told me. Poets don't just describe, they create experiences through sound. While writing, I thought about how to convey the excitement of the game through sound in my poem. Follow along as I read and underline 3 words or phrases that sound exciting, fast-paced, or intense. Anything that helps you feel like you're right there in the game. From Break to Buzzer, by yours truly. The court is alive with cheers and grins. Sneakers tied, teams huddled, then break, now the game begins. Players pass back and forth, a dance of dribbles, darting, weaving around the court. Pass, pivot, push, then pop, a jump shot soars, will it drop? Swish, it sinks, the crowd goes wild, the scoreboard sparks, each face beguiled. Defense, defense, chants fill the ear. The blaring buzz as he shoots. The end is near. Swish, again, the net's delight. They win the game beneath the lights. The court is alive with cheers and frowns. Sneakers scuffed, teams in line. Good game, they say, until next time around. So, what did you underline? My favorite examples are pass, pivot, push, then pop in stanza 3, swish, it sinks in stanza 4, and the blaring buzz in stanza 5. Within my poem, I used tools called sound devices to help my readers feel the game's excitement. When I first heard the term sound device, I thought, huh? Like headphones or speakers? But the secret poets explained it to me. Kind of like headphones or speakers, sound devices are tools that create sound, but in a poem. They make poems musical, memorable, and help build the mood or the feeling the writer wants to create for the reader. And I made sure to use them throughout my poem to build an exciting mood. Take another look at stanza 1. The sound device I used here is rhyme, which is the use of words with the same ending sounds. Poets use rhyme to produce a musical, rhythmic quality, and honestly, it makes poems more memorable. Here, the word grins and begins help achieve this effect. Go through the rest of the poem and circle the other rhyming words. Here's what your notes should look like. On to stanza 2, here I used alliteration, which is the repetition of beginning sounds in nearby words. Notice the repeating p sound in players pass, and the d sound in a dance of dribbles darting. Sometimes poets use alliterations because they're fun to hear and say out loud, like Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Sometimes alliterations mirror the subject of the poem, like saying sneakily slithering through the sand in a poem about a snake. Other times, they help call attention to certain ideas. I used alliteration to highlight the players' quick, fluid movements because they were happening so fast. Examples like players pass and dance of dribbles help readers focus on the scene by connecting the sounds. Put brackets around the rest of the alliterations in my poem. There are 8 in total. My favorite's gotta be scoreboard sparks. Feel free to pause the video to check your answers. I also included onomatopoeias throughout my poem. I know, funny word, it's even funnier to spell. Onomatopoeias are words that imitate sounds, like boom or hush. Put a box around the 4 I included throughout the poem. If you found pop, swish, buzz, and swish again, then you're right. How do these onomatopoeias affect my readers? All 4 examples imitate the many sounds you might hear in a game, from players popping off the floor to make a shot to the ball swishing effortlessly through the net. Onomatopoeias are another way to immerse readers into poems by engaging their imaginations with real-life sounds. Next, we have repetition. This is when poets repeat words, phrases, lines, or stanzas to emphasize an idea or feeling. Read my poem again and put a star next to words and phrases that are repeated. Did you see how the opening and closing stanzas start with "the court is alive"? I did that to emphasize the high energy on the court from beginning to end. I also repeated swish in stanzas 4 and 6 to emphasize the thrill of each shot, bringing the team closer to victory. The repeated defense chant in stanza 6 emphasizes the crowd's passion and their drive to see their team succeed. Great work catching all these sound devices, poets. But why does this all matter? How do these sound devices build the mood of my poem? They help build a fast-paced, energetic mood that captures the thrill of basketball. Pretty cool, right? But not all poems feel like mine. Poets carefully choose their words to create sound devices that build all types of moods. Let's take a look at a poem with a very different kind of thrill to see how sound devices affect it. This is the first stanza of The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. "Only this, and nothing more." Pause the video and fill in the chart analyzing the sound devices in this stanza. In the first row of the chart, you are asked to find the example of rhyme in line 1. What is it? Yeah, dreary and weary. What effects do these words have on the reader? They establish rhythm and help the reader recognize the gloomy, sleepy feeling of the poem. The next row has the example, "while I nodded, nearly napping." First, what kind of sound device is this, and in what line is it located in? Alliteration, and it's in line 3. The sound is repeated here with "nodded, nearly napping." What effect does that have on the reader? Poe really wants to call your attention to just how tired the speaker is here, just like weak and weary in line 1. Another alliteration. But forget about falling asleep with what comes next. What onomatopoeia did you find in line 5? Tapping. Something is tapping at the speaker's door. How does this affect the reader? The tapping heightens the suspense. Imagine nodding off to sleep when something mysterious starts tapping at your door. The last row of the chart includes the example rapping. What sound device is this, and in what line is it located? Repetition, and it's in line 4. How does it affect the reader? This also builds suspense by letting us know the noise isn't random, it's persistent. Could there be someone or something making this noise on purpose? Now, use what we've gathered about the sound devices in this poem to determine its mood. In your notes, circle the 3 words that best describe the mood and then explain why using evidence from the poem. Edgar Allan Poe definitely knew how to use sound devices to build a dark, gloomy, and suspenseful mood. So if you circled those 3, you're right on target. The rhyme and alliteration make this poem feel so gloomy, and that tapping, rapping kind of gives me the creeps. Thanks for exploring these poems with me. I'm excited to hear what the secret poets think about my basketball poem. In your lesson materials, you'll get to practice more with identifying sound devices and describing mood. You'll even get to experiment using the power of sound devices to change the mood of an existing poem. Good luck with that, and I'll see you next time.
Hey.